All right, it is Tuesday, August 12th, and hold on 1 second. Okay, so I want to get this out earlier. I was going to wait for more lineups, but it's noon my time, and I want to get the stuff out before the games start, and so you guys have time to watch the video and understand my thought process on how I make my picks. So we'll delete that one, and I'll just go game by game. I'll try to make it pretty simple and quick. Um, Seattle's pretty much a given in Baltimore. One of the best ballparks for home runs. Randy, Cal, Julio, Naylor, Suarez. I like any of them. Polanco. I know a lot of people are on Cole Young. Um, for a player like him, I wouldn't put in a parlay just because he's not really a home run hitter. If you want to try him in a single, I think that's fine. Even Crawford, same thing. In a single would be fine. Canzone. Really anyone on this team. Obviously the top guys, Cal. Um, Julio's hot. Naylor's getting hot. Suarez I like actually the most in this game, probably for two, aside from Cal. So if you have the opportunity to bet two home runs, I would do it on Suarez because he's very streaky. Remember he's on the D-backs. He constantly hit. If he hit one his first at bat, he hit another his next at bat. So I think you can get good odds there. As far as Baltimore goes, I'd probably just stick with the usual Westberg and Gunner since Holiday has fallen off. And Mountcastle's actually okay too. I think he's fine. This game I'm avoiding. Junk's pretty good. Allen's a lefty. I would not take Stowers unless you're risking. He has one off a lefty this year. And let me show you real quick how I do this. Um, let's see if he's even faced Allen before. So you go to batter versus pitcher. He's not. He has not faced him before. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna pull up Stowers. I'm gonna click his splits, and now you can see lefty and righty how he hits. So his averages are okay on both, but the key is he has one home run off lefties, which he hit I think last week off a reliever. He has 24 off righties. This is the only reason why I'll tell you not to pick someone like this against a lefty. If a relief pitcher comes in later and you want to live bet him against a righty, that's fine. But there is also a good chance he might not even start today because he doesn't always start against lefties. So keep an eye on if he's starting or not. But that's a quick way to look. You want to look at their splits. I only look at splits if it's lefty lefty, righty righty. I don't care. I'll just pick them just because. And we move on. So once again, I'm avoiding this game. I know some people are Bo Naylor. It's fine. I'm not going to say no. If you want Ramirez or Manzardo, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm not going to argue with you. Phillies, top team with Seattle today. I would parlay Schwarber and Harper because why not? I would also consider Schwarber with Cal. You can do Harper with Cal if you're parlaying. I also parlayed Schwarber for two with Cal for two, just because I'm a degen. Um, but you get a really good matchup against Singer at one of the best home run parks. So, and I would not be shocked if either Marsh, Stott, or Kepler hit as well. So I really like Phillies today. And as far as Cincinnati goes, they're facing Suarez, a lefty. I mean, I can't get the Reds, so I'm off the Reds personally myself. Minnesota, New York. This one potentially is a bullpen game for the Twins, so be careful with Yankees lefties today. If Hatch only goes an inning or two and then they put a lefty in, then it's going to suck for them. Bellinger can hit lefties. Grisham, I think, can. I don't. Jazz, I don't think is very good. McMahon, I don't know why he can't hit a home run at Yankee Stadium. That's kind of disappointing. Wells is pretty good. I don't mind Wells, but this could be a game that you don't have to take from. I don't obviously I like Buxton and Jeffers against Rodon, but he's also very good. So do not take Wallner or Larnack against a lefty. At least I wouldn't personally. This is just my how I think. Pretty straightforward. And then I think this game could be pretty good. The Cubs and Blue Jays. My Cubbies. Their offense sucks right now. Barrios can give up home runs though, so if you want to go Suzuki, probably Bush. Shaw is one of my favorite Cubs right now, and his odds are usually pretty good. So don't be afraid to. What is this? Oh, that's kind of cool. So don't be afraid to take Shaw. Once again, only in a single though, unless you're doing some like long shot parlay with like Shaw and Cole Young or something like that. But I'm not going to take any Cubs today. If I take anything, it will be Blue Jays. You can go Lukes, you can go Bichette, Guerrero, Barger, Varsho. I like a lot, and I think those is who I'd consider. I wouldn't go Lop or Defoe, but that's me personally. Atlanta, New York. This game has good wind. I was looking at the wind. Where is it? Here it is, blowing out 10 miles per hour. So go with the obvious Mets, such as I know Nimmo has good numbers off Strider, and don't be afraid of Strider. He's not good this year, so obviously you can go Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Alonso. I like Mullins too, but I don't want to name everyone, but I do like them against Strider. So anyone you like, take them. Braves are actually hitting pretty reasonably lately, especially Ozuna. So don't be afraid to take him or Harris. As you know, I always like to stick with the hot guys, so the hot bats. So stick with the hot bats. Baldwin's okay too. But with that said, I'm not taking any Braves today, so I don't trust them enough. Here's a game that has potential to rain out, which is why it's red on here. I'm going to refresh this just in case more lineups came out. The Yankees lineup came out. Um, I'm going to avoid this game because this guy probably will only go a couple innings tops. Um, and if they put a lefty in, that's going to pretty much render Carpenter and Green. Green I think only has one home run off of lefties this year. Let me double check. He has two, but he's batting 204. So this is why I always say don't take Green against lefties. It's not 25 against righties, 2 against lefties. So it's as simple as that. Um, they are facing a righty to start, but he probably won't last long. I would avoid this game, and it might rain out. I kind of hope it rains out so we don't have to think about it. So now we move on to Washington, KC. Um, Waka isn't that bad. I personally would. Shit. How's the weather in this game? This is nothing. You don't have to pay attention to wind blowing in at 3 miles per hour. I don't think. Let me look at their. I'm gonna look at their splits. So a quick reference to look at their splits as you go to the game. Click on the pitchers, and well, I kind of already showed this, but so Waka against them. Oh, Bella's 2 home runs. Garcia used to be a great pick. He sucks this year. Yeah, I'd probably just go Bell if you want anyone, but I just don't like taking bad teams, so I'm not going to take any Nats. Um, as far as Royals go, I'm okay with Perez and Witt. I wouldn't take Vinny. I don't even know if I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't starting. So, and then you could take Grichuk as well. He's great against lefties. All right, moving on. This game is a no. Simple as that. Skeens is pitching. I mean, you could take against Peralta, but I just, yeah, screw the Pirates. I'm good on that. This is another game I don't really like. Um, I just can't get the Cardinals for the life of me right now. They're just Herrera's okay because we know he's really good against lefties. He actually has crazy numbers against lefties. Contreras is okay, but honestly, I'm personally gonna avoid this game, um, just because it's just two trash teams. D-backs and Texans. Carroll is obvious. He's super hot right now. Um, that's the only one I would take from the D-backs personally. I know Jock Peterson has really good numbers off the D-back starter, but you don't have to take him. I'll just put it at that. You can, but you don't have to. And then that's pretty much the Seekers where I'd go. I think this game's going to suck, even though it looks good on paper. It just has that vibe to it. Because yesterday I had like 8 home runs or whatever. And usually the next game is just insanely disappointing. Moving on, Red Sox in Houston. This game had a lot of home runs yesterday too, but I kind of like it. I think Anthony's good. Bregman against his old team, Houston. I like Abreu. I like Duran. I think this is a good game to choose from. Can definitely take some guys from this one or from Boston. And then the Astros. I'll say yeah, no Astros for me today. Here's another great uh, matchup for the Dodgers. However, once again, it probably is going to be a bullpen game because I don't even know who this guy is. But Otani's matchup proof. I don't care if he's facing a lefty later in the game. And the Angels have one of the worst bullpens in the league. See, as you saw yesterday, they gave up a home run to Otani and Muncy. I think in the 8th inning. So I can see that happening again. Parlay them again if you want to, Otani and Muncy. And then really Freeman's fine since he's finally hitting, but I would focus Otani and Muncy and then Freeman last if you want. Smith has been kind of bad lately. And then for Angels, I'm gonna be off them today personally. I'm gonna focus. I'll tell you at the end of the video. I'm gonna focus specific teams because I don't want to risk $500 today. Padres and Giants. This is a clear cut avoid in my opinion. Just being in San Francisco. Um, I don't care if you take Devers. That's fine. He can hit off lefties. Chapman is the only Giant I generally pick at home, but this is deceiving. If he has a 7 ERA and a couple starts, it's whatever. But you know, I'm avoiding that game. And the last game, Tampa and Athletics. Shane does give up quite a few home runs, so take whoever you want on the A's as usual. I still wouldn't take Kurtz. I don't know why people keep taking him. You gotta get out the 4 home run game happened like 2 weeks ago. And I saw yesterday he had one extra base hit since the 2 home run game, and I was like, I don't know how people keep taking this guy. He's really good, but I would wait till he starts hitting again. There's no reason to risk it on him. Rooker, Shea. Shea would be my top because he's just so hot right now. Soderstrom loves hitting at home. Um, yeah, and then I skipped the Rays, didn't I? Cam, take him. Yandy, I always say this. I prefer him at home. Yeah, you could take him, but I would go Cam and maybe Morel again. Um, Yandy's fine. I can never get him right. Anyway, we're focusing. I personally, Seattle, Philly, Toronto, um, Dodgers, and Tampa. I think this game you could focus. The nice thing about it being last is You can wait to see how the early games go, and if you have a bazillion dollars, then you can, you know, work something in this game. See what if any new lineups came out. Oh, nothing crazy. India's not bad for like a kind of like a long shot. I don't know, I can think of the word. And all the weather's fine except for the White Sox. Like I said, I'm avoiding that game. Don't base your picks on batter versus pitcher. Like I said, Jock, he has 4 home runs off this guy. That's fine if you want to take him. I'm not saying don't take him, but just realize he's had a horrible year. And then Machado hits well off Robbie Ray. Once again, it's fine. Take him. Randy, I already like Randy, so I'm gonna take him. We already know that. And that's pretty much how we do it. Basically, what I look for is matchup, righty lefty. Um, I almost never take lefty lefty unless it's Schwarber, Otani, Mullins get off lefties. There's a list. I could make a list and you guys can kind of reference it, but or you just get lucky and Stowers will hit a home run off a lefty. I don't know. We could, but I generally avoid that. I look at weather. Wind in the summer, I am starting to not give any. I just don't care about. I think it matters more in the like colder climates. But when it's hot out, I just don't care any. I'm just stopping caring. And then the other thing to remember is some of these stadiums are domes. This is a dome, Toronto. Maybe they'll have the roof open, but you don't have to pay attention to this wind. It doesn't matter if it's in a dome. Milwaukee's also in a dome, and Houston's in a dome. Texas is in a dome, and I think that's it for these games. There's other teams that are in a dome, but they're just not there today. Cool. So, if you have any questions, just hit up the comments. I don't care if you subscribe or like the video, but obviously it would help me, because I hope I help you guys make money and we all prosper and retire multimillionaires. I'll see you guys later.